Good morning, Crossroads South. Happy Tuesday. It is Tuesday, March 18th, and it is an A day today. A couple of big announcements for today. The first one is that there is an orchestra trip happening, a big orchestra festival happening. We wish everybody all the best. And students who are participating in that, you are to be dismissed at 9:05. Teachers, don't forget to take a look both at the South Side. I referenced this, and also Mrs. Kling sent an email last week with the list of students. But 9:05, bring everything that you need and you can head down to the orchestra room. They will be loading buses at 9:15 sharp, so there's not a lot of time there. And make sure that when you go through the hallways, you are quiet and respectful to classes happening and you get yourself down to where you need to be. And again, we wish you all the best in this festival. We know that you are going to play beautifully and represent our school very well with excellent behavior and manners when you go out and perform, as well as be in another location, okay? The next thing that I would like to talk to you about is I'd like to give a huge congratulations again on the announcements to Mrs. Dovis and Mr. Embley. Mrs. Dovis is named as the Crossroads South Teacher of the Year this year, and we want to thank her for all that she does. There is so much that she does behind the scenes. Yesterday, I just announced about all the artwork that she submitted for her students, and she has a thriving TikTok account that lots of art teachers around the country follow, but most of all, she does a ton of things here at Crossroads South to help our school, to keep it beautiful. She's constantly putting display work around, and she's taking care of students. Now, if you are going to have art transitioning into trimester 3, you will get a chance to work with her, but please, please, please send her an email or say congratulations. And the same with Mr. Embley. He does a ton around our school as well, and he is always supportive of others and making sure that we are safe here at Crossroads. So wonderful congratulations to both of those professionals. So thank you. I would like to just remind you that this Friday is Crazy Sock Day. I'd like to also remind you that we have a patterns assembly on Friday, and another reminder that the trimester is ending on Wednesday. T2 ends on Wednesday and T3 starts on Thursday. So make sure you're checking out what your trimester rotations are for Encore so that you know exactly where to go when we click over to that A day on Thursday. Finally, make sure you are checking all of your grades. This is the very last moment. And everything should be in and solid. No grade should be a surprise because you should be going into Genesis and seeing what your grades are. There shouldn't be a ton of lingering grades, not unless you had an assessment recently. And you should be able to see what your grade is going to be for trimester 2 and what you need to buckle down on for trimester 3 in order to end the year with a solid final grade. Speaking of grades, I want to remind you that in order to be in good standing for not just staying after school for events, but also this is the time of year where we have other things happening. Trips, we have 8th grade trip, we have special days, Reichler trips, all those things, they all count within good standing. So if you're not in good standing and you're not passing your classes, that is something that we can hold you back from. So make sure that, or behavior or things like that. So make sure that you're doing your very best and that you're keeping in mind all of those extra activities and fun events that we have, and that you are doing your best to be in good standing and ready to go and to be able to partake in all of those privileges that we have here. Finally, my last announcement is about spring sports tryouts. Again, listen very carefully in the afternoon. Each afternoon, there's going to be a slight nuance and update. For example, yesterday, the girls' track members met only, and today the boys' track members are going to meet. So make sure that you're listening carefully. That is what I know of as of 7:30 this morning. However, it could change between now and the end of the day, so that's why our afternoon announcements are super important. Just a reminder, if you have a link to the Parent Hub, there is a link to a visual, a document, a Google Doc of the afternoon announcements. So if you ever want to check that, or you want to give that link to your parents so they can check it, that's a great way for everybody to keep in communication, okay? Finally, I'm just going to remind again, make sure that the orchestra students, 9:05 to the orchestra room with everything you need to go on the bus for today's trip. All right, folks, that concludes our morning announcements. Please stand for the salute to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. Have an awesome day, Crossroads.